Okay, this morning we're going to be making a deli salad. Okay, so the first practical you're about to do in year 7 is basically learning basic knife skills. Okay, we won't be using the cooker at all, so you won't be doing any cooking. All it is that you're going to be doing, preparing vegetables and then assembling them to give you a deli salad. Okay, so a mixture of vegetables with, if you choose to, you can use a bit of starch, whether it be pasta. Some people will have rice in their salad. I tend not to. So pasta you could go for. Couscous you could go for as well. And then I'm going to be adding a bit of protein to my salad. Okay, so it's going to be a balanced salad. So you won't have to have anything. It could be a complete meal. Okay. Right, so the first thing I'm going to be doing, I've already washed all my veg, okay, beforehand. I'm going to be preparing these. I've already washed all my lettuce. So this is a lettuce. I've taken it apart. The main reason for doing that is to get rid of any dirt that may be on there, or if there was any insects or anything like that, because it's a ground provision. It was grown from the ground, from the earth. Okay, so there might have been a bit of dirt on there or insects. And I'm going to be not using the knife to cut, but using my fingers or my hands to tear the leaves of the lettuce. If you do use the knife, there's a chemical reaction and the lettuce tend to go a bit darker, much sooner. Okay, so I'm just using my hands to basically take it apart. You can go and have the bone, what they call the bone of the lettuce. I tend not to like too much chunk, okay, but there's nothing wrong in consuming that bit. It's just my personal preference. As you can see, this is going quite quickly, so I'm not using the knife to cut them. Because if I'm having it my salad straight away, then I tend to use the knife. But if I'm going to be storing it in the fridge at all, there's a chemical reaction between the enzymes in the lettuce and the blade of the knife that allows the lettuce to go dark, and then your salad is going to look a bit browny, unpleasant. Okay, so it's got brown marks on there. While you're tearing the leaves, if there's any bruised bits on the leaves, then you can get rid of them as well. I'll go for a bit more because this is the only leafy veg that I'm going to be using. Got a bit of water still on them. If you have a salad spinner, you could use it when making your salad. We've got one here, but I did not take it out, so I won't be using it just now. And it's totally up to you how big you'd like to tear the leaves of the lettuce. You've got different types of lettuce that you can use. If you want to go for the iceberg as well, these are just gem lettuce. This one I'm using. So you choose the type of lettuce that you'd like to add to your salad. Okay, so that's my lettuce done. I'm going to go and use a bit of my cucumber. Okay, the important thing when using a knife, can you see from where you're sitting? Yeah. Important thing is when you're using your knife, your fingers are away from the blade of the knife, always behind, and we're not cutting anything in our hands. Okay, we tend to chop directly on the chopping board, not on the surface, but on the chopping board to protect the surface. I'm going to be peeling just a tiny bit to give a little bit of pattern. And I don't want to take all the skin off because the skin is very important. It's rough edge, okay? Important to our diet. Keeping my fingers behind the blade of the knife and ensuring that You can do whole slices. You don't have to cut it similar to what I did just now. You choose how you'd like to cut your cucumber. And I'm cutting them as thin as I can get them. You may want to do them a bit more chunky. Okay, just going to be adding this to my lettuce. Oh, I've got some bits on the side. My surface is clean because I clean my surface, and it's important for you to keep your surface clean, and I'm going to be using those as well. Okay, going for a bit of pepper. So I have a variety of veg that I'm going to be using. Take the seeds out. And then if you've got any core inside that is still there, unwanted, those little bits that you don't want, they're still edible, but just choose to take them out. And go for a small. See, I'm keeping my fingers behind the blade of the knife at all times. You could cut these smaller, so for example in small cubes as well. It's totally up to you. And my knife is nice and sharp, so try to be careful when you're using them next week. One thing I need to bring to your attention, last year we had, even now I still have them in my cupboard inside, students bringing in knife for this particular lesson. It's your first lesson. Are you expected to bring knife into school, do you think? No, okay? So don't go home and tell parent carers that you're going to be making salad and you need to bring knife in. All your equipment are provided for you. The only thing you need to do is to bring your ingredients and your container, okay? And I'll go through that in a bit. My chopping board is a bit wet now from the preparation of the peppers on the board and the cucumbers, so I'm just drying it again. The next bit, I've got some tomatoes. What are these called? Cherry tomatoes. Okay, so I'm just gonna, or plum.
These ones are plum.
They're plum. What's the difference between the cherry and the plum?
Isn't the cherry must be?
The cherry are round. Plum, can you see these? The shape of these one kind of like
oval,
long.
like grapes.
Yeah.
Plum.
Yeah. Oblong. Yeah. So these are I'm gonna cut them, even though I don't like to cut them, because as soon as you cut them, they produce a bit more water. So I'm not gonna cut them. I'm gonna put them in whole. They've been washed. Okay. So if I cut them, then we have more water in our salad. So we just tend to leave them whole. The next bit I've got here is an apple. Okay, and some of us, okay, I see that facial expression straight away. As if, oh, an apple in a salad, yeah, that's fine. You have the contrast in taste. Oh, and it's not very good either. So I've got bits in the middle. I'm not going to put it in the bin. Okay, I'm just going to take this bit out. And I'm going to go for it. So it's a bit dodgy in the middle. Put all of that in the bin then. Take the core, the middle. See how I'm using the knife? So that's my bridge. Ensure that you're not using the knife directly in your hand or holding it. Keeping your fingers always away from the blade of the knife. I don't want to see any blood next week. Okay. And I'm just going to cut these into small pieces. What happens to an apple when you bite into it and leave it for a few seconds or a few minutes? Goes brown. Okay. The correct term for that is enzymatic browning. Okay, it's quite natural. If you bite into an apple, put it down for a few seconds or even a minute, you realize it's going brown. Okay, and that is the air going onto it. It just react that way. So to prevent the apple going brown in my salad, and to make my salad prevent it from looking unattractive, I'm just going to be putting a bit of lemon juice. So to prevent it going brown, a bit of acid. Okay, which is my lemon juice. Okay, so a tiny bit on there. Just gonna mix it on. You will still get brown, but you'll have to leave it for very long. Okay, and then after a while it starts going brown again, but this helps. Put this in, and you're going to be working in groups of 3s. So this should be a very simple practical. You'll have enough chopping boards for everyone to contribute. My next ingredient is my carrot, and I'm looking for my carrot. Okay, and this is, can anyone remind me of? Yep,
it's a peeler.
Peeler, so vegetable peeler. Some people would say potato peeler. So you're going to be using your peeler next week as well. Okay, I'm just going to be peeling this. I'm going to peel it on the side, okay, as opposed to on my chopping board. I'm just going to clear them away after. Try not to peel it directly onto the floor next week when you're making. Okay. So you will use your vegetable peeler next week. Try to remember that. Remember, all my veg has been washed. Okay, put this straight into the bin to keep your area clean. Ooh, not on the floor, I said. And that one went straight onto the floor. But I'll keep it there for now. It's safe in a corner. So I'll pick it up in a bit. Then I'm going to be using my grater. Well done, to reduce the size. I'm using the big part of the grater. So next week, pay attention. That is for shredding. So pay attention to the side of the grater that I'm using. It has 4 sides. Very small again. And then that is mainly, if you want to get like the carrot curls, you can use that one. Or if you're grating cheese and you want to get kind of like a sliced version of it sliced. Okay, so you're using the shredding, the bit for shredding. And be careful when using the grater next week, okay? We don't want to have, it's quite common that that bit will get into your hand. So just focus, hold this bit firmly with the hand, okay? Yes, you have a question?
Before my mum was doing grating and she grated her skin off and it nearly went into the food.
Yeah, it's quite common. It's very painful as well. Yeah, so try to be careful. But you have to practice using the kitchen equipment, so there's no way of cheating. You could go for the food processor, but I want you to learn how to use these basic equipment. Okay? I don't want to get my hands, my finger I should say. I'm going to put that little bit in the bin. I'm not trying to prove a point, because I don't like when I've got cuts on my finger myself. That's done. I'm not going to be using this anymore, so I'll put that in the sink. So that's my grated carrots. If you choose to, you can cut small, kind of like, what should I say, strips if you want to, or small little cubes if you want to, if you don't like shredded carrots. Okay? Right. Keep questions until the end. Just try and remember them, okay? Try and remember what you were about to ask. Is that all my prep done? Yeah, I think that's all my cutting done. I'm going to put this one away. Rinse my hands. Okay. I've got one more ingredient to cut. That's my chicken. And I've got my sweet corn. Okay. Do we still need a tin opener for this one? No. Okay, just need to lift it. And I'm going to be using my what's this one called again?
Strain.
Sift. Yeah. Remember? Yeah. Sift. I could always use a colander as well to get rid of the excess water from this, but because it's a small amount, I'll just use my sift for doing that. Get rid of my water. Remember, don't be tempted to just go and get rid of the water on the floor, so you should be holding it directly over the sink. Okay. I think I'm going to use all my sweet corn, yeah, because it's a small one. Next week, please don't get carried away with the ingredients. I don't want anyone, if you can, bring a small tin of sweet corn rather than a big one. Okay? Go ahead, a bit of water in there. That's that bit done. Right, I've got some pasta. Okay, so this is my starch. I'm gonna, let me put that in. Put this in. I've already drained it using my colander. Yeah, so I drained not that one, but one of those. I'm going to drain my pasta. Then I've got some, what do you think this one is? Yeah, raisins. Well done. And it's optional. Again, his face is saying, what? You don't have to say your face. Oh, why are you doing this? Are you getting mad? No, so it's raisins. Okay, remember, anything can go in a salad. It's your personal preference as well. Okay, add that in. And the contrast, the sweet taste with all the other ingredients, very nice. Okay, well, that's my personal preference anyway. For you, it may not be that nice. Then I've got some protein here, some chicken on the bone. Okay, I did not make that chicken. Okay, so shop bought. Yeah, Marks and Spencer is supposed to be nice. Well, that's me cheating. I could have gone and done my own chicken, but just time did not allow. Okay, so do we have to go and use chicken, for example? Do you think you have to use chicken next to it? No. The important thing is that whatever protein you're adding, is that it's cooked. So we wouldn't go and put raw chicken or raw bacon or anything in our salad. So you go and choose what cooked protein you would like to go and add to your salad.
But you can have the chicken cold.
Yeah, it's cooked. Yeah, as long as it's cooked and it's not raw. So whatever cooked protein, what other protein could we add to our deli salad, do you think?
Red meat.
Red meat, for example, what?
Beef.
We don't know what. What is red meat? Beef, yeah.
Lamb.
So it would be beef slices, not raw again. I'm taking some of the skin off because there's excess on there. You were saying beef?
Yeah. Lamb.
Yeah. So any protein that you like within your group, then you can choose to add to it. Or you may not want to add any protein. Okay? A bit of tuna, if you like, or whatever type of fish.
Cheese.
As long as it's cooked. Yeah? Miss, you were saying? Is it?
Use cheese.
You could put a bit of cheese as well, because cheese has protein in there. And you do have salad cheese. Cheese are there on the market that is specifically made to be added to your salad. I don't have any with me now, but sometimes I use those as well. I'm not going to be adding a lot of chicken to this, well, not for the demo shortly. Let me go for 3 pieces. So if you're going to add chicken to yours, then please come in with that already cooked. So that's not going to be a part of the lesson. That's the main reason why I had mine already ready cooked chicken. Okay? So the next week's lesson, you're not meant to be cooking. So come in with ready cooked protein if you're going to be adding it. Okay, this is taking a bit of time to take it off the bone. Would have been lovely if it was chicken fillet. But really, I did not buy the chicken for this demo. I had it at home, bought it to use it at home, and then I didn't, and then I just decided to bring it in to add it to my salad. Okay, if you've got leftover chicken, you can take it in. I'm just cutting it into small bits. ensuring that my fingers are behind the blade of the knife at all times. Take the skin off. It is okay to eat the skin of the chicken, but I personally don't like to have it. Right, so that's my chicken done. I'm just going to rinse my hands over a bit. See how my area is almost clean, even at the end. Don't have a lot of mess going on. Adding my chicken there. Do you think that's finished now? What do I need to do now? Just mix it all together. Okay, I don't have a spoon there, so I'm just going to go for one here. I'm going to use my mixing spoon. Yeah, I was trying to do a small amount and I still ended up getting a lot. Right, so quite a bit. And then I'm going to add a bit of dressing. I'm going to make my own dressing on the go. So a bit of pepper, a bit of salt, a bit of oil, and a tiny bit of lemon juice because I've already added lemon juice to my apples. Okay, so a bit of lemon juice. So rather than going to the shop and spending £1.50 to get a dressing, just make your own. A tiny bit. I should have made it in a separate dish or something. Bit of pepper. I'm just making it as I go. That's black pepper. If you have white pepper, that will be excellent because the only disadvantage is that you look on it and it has those little bit of black, which doesn't make it look that appealing. Tiny bit of salt, not a lot, and then a bit of olive oil. Yeah, and I'm going to toss everything together. That's enough. Give it another mix. And that's it done. I know to some of you it doesn't look appealing because you guys love your chicken and chips or pizza or fast food, but this is very healthy. It has most of the elements of the Eat Well plate. So you've got your protein, you've got your starch, you've got your veg, okay? You even have a bit of fruits in there going on. So your apple, your dried fruits, which is raisins. Okay, the only thing that is missing from the food groups is what's missing?
Sugar.
There is sugar in there because from apple you do get sugar, from starch you do get sugar when it's broken down. So the only thing that will be missing is that one. You know, you have. There's a bit of oil in there, fat.
Milk, yogurt.
There's a bit of so it's from the dairy product, the milk. So if I added a bit of cheese, like a salad. Cheese, then that would be perfect. A balanced meal right here without having to consume anything else. Okay, so all the requirement of the Eat Well plate except the milk and dairy product, which you can go and add a bit of cheese to this. Okay, right, well done, thank you.